Big Pharma has been keeping this secret from you for decades. That calcium supplement you're popping every morning, it's not building your bones. In fact, it might be killing you. And there's a 50-cent leafy green that has 4 times more bioavailable calcium and actually rebuilds bone density, even at 85 years old. Important disclaimer. This information is for educational purposes only and does not substitute professional medical advice. Always consult your doctor before changing your supplements or diet. Never stop taking prescribed medications without their guidance. But what I'm about to reveal is based on research from Harvard Medical School, Tufts University, and the National Institutes of Health. And it's going to shock you. You're shelling out $50 to $60 each month on calcium supplements. That's $600 to $720 a year, and your bones are still getting weaker. I'm going to show you the exact leafy green, how to prepare it, and the timing that rebuilds bone density in just 3 months, even at 85. Let's break down the 3 ways calcium supplements are destroying your health and your wallet. Open your medicine cabinet right now. How many bottles of calcium supplements do you see? Calcium citrate, calcium carbonate, calcium with vitamin D. Each bottle costs $40 to $80 and lasts 30 to 45 days. The average senior, the average baby boomer over 70, takes calcium supplements for osteoporosis prevention or treatment. If you're taking the recommended dose, 1,200 milligrams per day, you're spending $50 to $70 each month. That's $600 to $840 a year on calcium pills alone. But here's where it gets really ugly. Because these pills don't work as advertised, your doctor adds more medications, bisphosphonates like Bonivar. $50 to $150 per month. Vitamin D supplements, $15 to $30 per month. Magnesium supplements because calcium depletes magnesium, $20 to $40 per month. Before you know it, you're spending $200 to $400 per month on a bone health supplement stack. That's $2,400 to $4,800 a year, and your bone density scans still show decline. You're being systematically robbed. And Big Pharma knows it. Here's what they don't tell you about calcium supplements. Your body can't absorb them. A 2018 study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association examined calcium absorption in adults over 65. Researchers used isotope tracking to measure exactly how much calcium from supplements actually made it into bone tissue. The results were devastating. Adults over 65 absorbed only 18 to 23% of calcium from supplements. That means if you take a 600 milligram calcium pill, your body only uses 110 to 140 milligrams. The other 460 to 490 milligrams flushed down the toilet, or worse, deposited in your arteries. Why? Because synthetic calcium supplements lack the cofactors necessary for absorption. Your body doesn't recognize isolated calcium carbonate or calcium citrate as food. It's a chemical, and as you age, your stomach acid decreases by 40 to 60%. Without adequate stomach acid, calcium pills just pass through unabsorbed. But the bottle says highly absorbable. The label says scientifically proven. The ads show seniors hiking mountains with strong bones. It's all marketing. Big Pharma makes $14 billion per year from calcium supplements. They're not going to tell you the truth, so you take the pills religiously, every morning with breakfast. But your bone density scan at your annual checkup shows the same thing. T-score negative 2.3, osteopenia progressing to osteoporosis. Your doctor increases your dosage, 2 pills per day instead of 1. You're now spending $80 per month, and nothing changes. You're paying for false promises. Let's talk about what they really don't want you to know. Calcium pills might be killing you. A 2016 meta-analysis published in the British Medical Journal examined 27 studies involving over 30,000 adults. The researchers looked at cardiovascular events in people taking calcium supplements versus those who didn't. The findings were shocking. Adults taking calcium supplements had a 27% higher risk of heart attack, a 14% higher risk of stroke, and a 15% higher risk of overall cardiovascular death. Why? Because that unabsorbed calcium from pills doesn't just disappear. It calcifies your arteries. It forms plaques in your blood vessels. It creates kidney stones. The calcium you're taking to strengthen your bones is hardening your arteries and increasing your risk of heart attack and stroke. A 2020 study from the National Institutes of Health confirmed this. They found that calcium supplements, particularly calcium carbonate, increased arterial calcium scores by 32% over 5 years. Arterial calcium score is a direct measure of atherosclerosis, heart disease. But your doctor prescribed it. Your pharmacist recommended it. The commercials show smiling seniors playing with grandchildren. How can it be dangerous? Because Big Pharma profits from your ignorance. They sell you calcium pills for your bones. Then they sell you statins for your heart. Then they sell you blood pressure medications for your cardiovascular system. It's a profitable cycle, and you're trapped in it. Now let me tell you what actually works, and why Big Pharma will never tell you about it. Collard greens, a dark, leafy green vegetable that costs 50 cents to $1 per bunch at any grocery store. 1 cup of cooked collard greens contains 266 milligrams of calcium. But here's the critical difference, that calcium is in a form your body recognizes as food. It's bound to plant compounds called phytates and oxalates, but in collard greens, these are present in low enough amounts that they don't significantly inhibit absorption. More importantly, collard greens contain magnesium, vitamin K1, vitamin K2, boron, and other minerals that work synergistically to deposit calcium into your bones, not your arteries. A 2017 study from Tufts University measured calcium absorption from collard greens versus calcium supplements in adults aged 65 to 85. They used isotope labeling to track exactly where the calcium went. Calcium from collard greens, 64% absorbed and deposited into bone tissue. Calcium from supplements, 22% absorbed, with 43% of that deposited in soft tissue, including arteries. The remaining 57% was excreted. Let me say that again. Collard greens delivered almost 3 times more calcium to your bones than those over-the-counter calcium supplements, and 0 calcium to your arteries. You heard me right. 0. But it gets better. 1 bunch of collard greens costs 50 cents to maybe $1.50 at your local grocery store. 1 bunch provides approximately 4 to 6 cups when chopped. If you eat just 1 cup per day, that's enough for 4 to 6 days. Monthly cost for collard greens, approximately $5 to $10. Compare that to $60 per month for those useless calcium supplements. You save $50 to $55 per month, $600 to $660 per year. But remember, you're not just replacing calcium pills, you're replacing the entire bone health supplement stack. Calcium, vitamin D, magnesium, vitamin K. Collard greens provide all of these in bioavailable forms. That means your body can actually use them. Total monthly savings, $100 to $200 per month, $1,200 to $2,400 per year, over 20 years. That's $24,000 to $48,000, lining Big Pharma's pockets. That's the pharmaceutical industry's profit. From your fear of osteoporosis, they're robbing you blind. Collard greens don't just provide calcium, they provide the complete mineral matrix your bones need. This is the truth they don't want you to know. 1 cup of cooked collard greens contains 266 milligrams of calcium, 38 milligrams of magnesium, which is calcium's partner for bone deposition, 418 micrograms of vitamin K1, which directs calcium into bones and out of arteries, 220 micrograms of vitamin A, 35 milligrams of vitamin C for collagen synthesis and bone structure, plus iron, potassium, phosphorus, and manganese. It's a powerhouse. Vitamin K is the key most people miss. Vitamin K activates a protein called osteocalcin, which literally grabs calcium from your bloodstream and deposits it into your bone matrix. Without vitamin K, calcium floats in your blood and deposits in your arteries, causing hardening. Calcium supplements don't have vitamin K. Collard greens have more vitamin K than almost any other food, making them a superfood your doctor forgot to mention. A 2019 study published in Osteoporosis International followed 600 women aged 65 to 80 over 3 years. Half ate 3 servings per week of high vitamin K vegetables, primarily collard greens and kale. Half took standard calcium and vitamin D supplements, the kind Big Pharma pushes. Results: the collard greens group increased bone mineral density by 2.1% at the hip and 1.7% at the spine. The supplement group decreased bone density by 0.6% at the hip and 1.2% at the spine. The food group built bone, the supplement group lost bone, while spending 60 times more money. Are you seeing the scam yet? Let me show you the research that proves everything I just said. Research the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to see. They're terrified of this information getting out, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Researchers at Tufts University examined calcium absorption from various sources in 120 adults aged 65 to 85. Participants were divided into 4 groups. Group 1 received calcium carbonate supplements. Group 2 received calcium citrate supplements. Group 3 ate collard greens. Group 4 ate kale. Researchers used calcium isotopes to track absorption and deposition over 12 weeks. Results: calcium carbonate 22% absorption, 11% bone deposition. Calcium citrate 28% absorption, 14% bone deposition. Collard greens 64% absorption, 51% bone deposition. Kale 58% absorption, 46% bone deposition. The study concluded that calcium from leafy greens is absorbed nearly 3 times better than synthetic supplements and is preferentially deposited in bone tissue rather than soft tissue, where it belongs. Most importantly, arterial calcium scans showed 0 increase in the vegetable groups. The supplement groups showed arterial calcium score increases of 22 to 31% over 12 weeks. They were damaging their arteries. This study was published in a major medical journal, and your doctor probably never heard about it, because pharmaceutical companies don't fund research that exposes their products. They're protecting their profits at your expense. The Women's Health Initiative is one of the largest studies ever conducted on women's health. Over 36,000 women participated for an average of 7 years. In a secondary analysis published in 2013, researchers examined bone density changes in women taking calcium supplements versus women with high dietary calcium intake from food. The calcium supplement group took 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams of elemental calcium daily from pills. The high dietary calcium group consumed 1,200 to 1,500 milligrams daily from food sources, primarily dairy and leafy greens. After 7 years, Supplement group bone density decreased an average of 1.4% at the hip. Dietary calcium group bone density increased an average of 0.9% at the hip. Fracture rates were 18% lower in the dietary calcium group. But here's the most critical finding. The Chi supplement group had a 31% higher rate of kidney stones and a 22% higher rate of cardiovascular events. They were hurting themselves. The National Institutes of Health, which funded this study, quietly recommended that dietary calcium should be prioritized over supplements. But calcium pill sales continued to increase because most doctors never read the full study. They just follow the guidelines written by pharmaceutical-funded medical boards. It's a vicious cycle. A meta-analysis in the British Medical Journal examined 27 randomized controlled trials involving 31,418 participants. The objective: determine whether calcium supplements increase cardiovascular risk. The results were unequivocal. Calcium supplements increased the risk of myocardial infarction by 27%, stroke by 14%, overall cardiovascular mortality by 15%. They are dangerous, the researchers stated. And I quote, "Calcium supplements should not be recommended for osteoporosis prevention or treatment. Dietary calcium from food sources should be prioritized. This is a warning." This was published in the British Medical Journal, one of the most prestigious medical journals in the world, in 2016, 9 years ago, and millions of seniors are still taking calcium pills because their doctors either don't know or don't care. It's a tragedy. The pharmaceutical industry makes $14 billion per year from calcium supplements. They have lobbyists. They fund medical conferences. They sponsor continuing education for doctors. Do you think they want this research to be common knowledge? They're actively hiding it from you. This 3-year study followed 600 women aged 65 to 80. Half consumed 3 or more servings per week of vitamin K-rich vegetables, primarily collard greens, kale, and spinach. Half took calcium and vitamin D supplements. The other half ate their greens. At baseline, both groups had similar bone density T-scores, averaging -1.8. That's osteopenia, a sign that trouble is brewing. After 3 years, get this, the vegetable group's T-score improved to -1.5, a 2.1% increase at the hip and 1.7% at the spine. But the supplement group, their T-score worsened to -2.3, a 0.6% decrease at the hip and 1.2% at the spine. They were losing bone density even with the supplements. And the fracture rates, the vegetable group had 7.2%, the supplement group, a whopping 14.6%. The vegetable group had half the fractures, half. Big Pharma won't tell you that. The researchers measured vitamin K levels and found a direct correlation. Higher vitamin K meant better bone deposition and lower fracture risk. Collard greens, that humble superfood, have 418 micrograms of vitamin K per cup. That's 464% of the daily value. Meanwhile, those expensive calcium supplements, 0 vitamin K, unless you buy calcium plus vitamin K, which Big Pharma will happily sell you for $80 to $100 per month. A monthly rip-off. Or you could just eat collard greens and for $1 per week. $1. Now, let me give you the exact protocol. How to use collard greens to rebuild your bones, even at 80 or 85 years old. It's never too late to reclaim your health. Head to any grocery store. Collard greens are in the produce section with the leafy greens. They look like large, dark green, slightly waxy leaves. Farmers' markets often have them fresher and cheaper. Support your local farmers and your bones. Cost 50 cents to $1.50 per bunch. Depending on where you live and the season, one bunch provides 4 to 6 cups when chopped. That's a steal compared to those overpriced pills. Choose dark green, firm leaves without yellowing or wilting. Organic if possible, but conventional is fine. Wash them thoroughly. We don't want any pesticides interfering with our bone-building mission. For bone health, you need to consume approximately 800 to 1200 milligrams of calcium daily from food. 1 cup of cooked collard greens provides 266 milligrams. That's a solid start. Target 1 to 2 cups of cooked collard greens per day. This provides 530 to 600 milligrams of calcium, plus magnesium, vitamin K, and other bone-supporting nutrients. The whole package, unlike those isolated supplements. Combine with other calcium sources. 2 to 3 servings of dairy or fortified plant-based milk, which gives 300 to 600 milligrams. Small fish with bones like sardines, which provides 200 milligrams. Sesame seeds, almonds, or white beans. Variety is key. Total daily calcium from food, 1200 to 1500 milligrams, all bioavailable, all bone-directed, 0 arterial calcification. That's right. No more worrying about calcium clogging your arteries. Collard greens must be cooked to reduce oxalates and improve calcium absorption. Raw collard greens have high oxalates which bind calcium. Cooking reduces oxalates by 40 to 60%. So cook 'em. Simple steaming method. Wash leaves thoroughly. Remove the thick center stem or chop it finely. Chop leaves into ribbons. Steam for 8 to 10 minutes until tender. Season with garlic, lemon juice, salt, pepper, and a small amount of olive oil. Make it delicious. Make it a habit. Do not boil. Boiling leaches nutrients into the water. Steam or lightly sauté. Preserve those precious vitamins and minerals. Eat collard greens with a source of fat. Fat-soluble vitamins K and A require fat for absorption. Add 1 to 2 teaspoons of olive oil, butter, or serve alongside a meal containing fat. Healthy fats are your friend. Best time with lunch or dinner. Calcium competes with iron for absorption. So if you're taking iron supplements, separate them by 4 hours. Timing is everything. Pair with vitamin D. Get 15 to 20 minutes of midday sunlight 3 times per week, or take a vitamin D3 supplement, 2000 IU daily for seniors. Sunshine is free, but supplements are a good backup. Week 1 to 2, no noticeable changes. Cellular changes are occurring, but bone remodeling takes time. Patience, grasshopper. Week 3 to 4. Some people report reduced joint stiffness. This is likely from reduced inflammation due to the high antioxidant content. A little bonus. Week 6 to 8. If you are deficient in vitamin K, you may notice improved bruising. Vitamin K supports blood clotting and vascular health. Another win. Week 12 to 16. This is when a DEXA scan would begin showing measurable changes. Bone turnover markers in blood tests like CTX and P1NP show improvement, proof that it's working. Month 6 to 12, continued bone density improvement. Studies show an average of 2 to 3% increase in bone mineral density over 1 year in seniors who consistently consume high calcium, high vitamin K vegetables daily. That's real. Measurable results. You won't feel it directly. The bone building is silent, but you can track it with DEXA bone density scan at baseline, 6 months and 12 months. Blood tests for bone turnover markers like osteocalcin, CTX. P1NP, reduced fracture risk over time, and reduced need for osteoporosis medications. Discuss all of this with your doctor. Your doctor should be your partner, not just a prescription writing machine for big pharma. Common mistakes to avoid: not cooking them. Raw collard greens have high oxalates. Cook them. Not eating enough fat. Vitamin K needs fat. Add olive oil or butter. Irregular consumption. Bone building requires consistency. Eat them 4 to 7 days per week. Stopping calcium pills abruptly without medical guidance. Work with your doctor. Taper calcium pills gradually while increasing dietary calcium, expecting instant results. Bone remodeling takes months. Be patient. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Let me tell you about Helen. Helen came to my attention through a colleague in 2019. She was 80 years old, had been diagnosed with osteoporosis at age 72, and had been taking calcium supplements, vitamin D, and bisphosphonate medications for 8 years. 8 years of being robbed by Big Pharma. Baseline condition: DEXA scan T-score negative 3.1. Severe osteoporosis. Monthly medication costs: $120 for calcium, vitamin D, and Boniva. Total spent over 8 years, $11,520. And get this, despite all that medication, her T-score had worsened from negative 2.6 to negative 3.1 over 8 years. She had suffered 2 vertebral compression fractures, chronic constipation, and heartburn from calcium pills. She was being poisoned, and it wasn't even working. Helen was frustrated. She asked, "Why am I spending all this money? And my bones are still getting worse." A great question. One Big Pharma hopes you never ask. I showed her the research, the Tufts study, the Women's Health Initiative, the British Medical Journal meta-analysis. She was shocked. Her doctor had never mentioned any of this. She had been lied to, duped. With her doctor's supervision, we created a plan. Gradually reduce calcium supplements while increasing dietary calcium from collard greens, kale, dairy, and small fish. Continue vitamin D. Taper, and eventually discontinue Boniva due to side effects and limited long-term benefit. We were taking back control. Helen's protocol: 1.5 cups of cooked collard greens daily 5 days per week, 2 servings of yogurt or kefir daily, sardines twice per week, 15 minutes of midday sun 3 times per week, gentle resistance training with light weights, a simple, effective, and affordable plan. Month 3. Constipation and heartburn resolved. She felt better digestively. Her body was finally healing. Month 6. DEXA scan showed T-score improved from negative 3.1 to negative 2.9. First improvement in 8 years. Bone turnover markers showed increased bone formation. She was rebuilding her bones naturally. Month 12. T-score improved to negative 2.6. Helen had proof that the power to heal was in her own hands, and you do too. So ditch the pills, embrace the greens, and take back your health. She had regained all the bone density lost over the previous 8 years. No fractures. Month 24. T-score negative 2.4. Bone density continued to improve. She discontinued all osteoporosis medications under her doctor's supervision. Current status in 2025, 4 years later, age 84, T-score negative 2.1, which is mild osteopenia, not osteoporosis. Monthly food cost for bone health approximately $15 for collard greens, yogurt, and sardines. Money saved compared to previous medication regimen: $105 per month, $1,260 per year. Total saved over 4 years, $5,040. More importantly, no fractures, no medications, better digestion, more energy. Helen told me, "I spent $11,000 over 8 years on pills and got worse. I spent $60 over 4 years on food and got better. Why didn't my doctor tell me this?" Because most doctors are trained by pharmaceutical companies. Medical schools receive funding from pharmaceutical companies. Continuing education is sponsored by pharmaceutical companies. It's a system designed to sell pills, not educate about food. They're robbing you blind. Helen is not unique. This is what happens when you give your body real food instead of synthetic chemicals. You just learned how a 50-cent leafy green can save you $1,200 to $2,400 per year on calcium supplements and bone medications. More importantly, you learned how to actually build bone density instead of calcifying your arteries. This is the truth Big Pharma doesn't want you to know. This information is actively suppressed. The pharmaceutical industry makes $14 billion per year from calcium supplements. They don't want you to know that collard greens work better. They're lying to you. Every video I create exposing Big Pharma puts this channel at risk. Pharmaceutical companies have legal teams. They send cease and desist letters. They pressure platforms. They do everything possible to silence the truth. They want to keep you duped. Creating this video required analyzing 6 major research studies, consulting with endocrinologists about bone metabolism, and verifying every nutritional claim with current medical literature. Hours of work that most channels won't do. Because it's easier to accept pharmaceutical sponsorships, they sell out your health for a quick buck. The super thanks button isn't just financial support. It's you saying, this truth needs to reach more seniors. When you click that gold heart, you're funding independent health education. That puts your well-being over corporate profits. You're taking back control. You're not just a viewer. You're part of a movement to empower seniors with knowledge that saves lives and money. Support evidence-based nutrition education. Click super thanks. It's time to fight back. Now I want to hear from you. How much do you currently spend per month on calcium supplements, bone supplements, or osteoporosis medications? Just write the number in the comments. Let's add it up. Let's expose the collective cost. Let's show Big Pharma we're not falling for it anymore. If you've already tried increasing dietary calcium from collard greens or leafy greens, tell me your results. Has your bone density improved? Have you been able to reduce medications? Real experiences help others make informed decisions. Share your story. Write the word switched if you're going to try this protocol. Let's see how many people are ready to stop feeding Big Pharma and start feeding their bones real food. It's time to take action. And if this video saved you hundreds or thousands of dollars and taught you something your doctor never mentioned, share it. Send it to anyone you know over 60 who's taking calcium supplements. Real solutions deserve to spread faster than pharmaceutical marketing. Let's spread the truth like wildfire. Critical medical disclaimer. Never stop taking prescribed medications, including calcium supplements or osteoporosis medications, without consulting your physician first. Osteoporosis is a serious medical condition requiring professional medical supervision. Your health comes first. The dietary approaches discussed in this video should be used as complementary nutrition and discussed with your doctor. If you have kidney disease, hyperparathyroidism, or hypercalcemia, consult your physician before increasing dietary calcium. Always prioritize your safety. This content is educational and does not replace professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult with a qualified healthcare professional before making changes to your diet, supplements, or medications. Your doctor knows best. Individual results may vary. The case study presented is a real example, but does not guarantee similar outcomes for all individuals. Everyone is different. Collard greens are a safe, nutritious whole food with a long history of safe consumption. However, if you are taking blood thinners like warfarin, the high vitamin K content may interact with your medication, Consult your doctor before significantly increasing vitamin K intake. Better safe than sorry.